Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk a little bit more about NASA and the climate. Because in a recent video, I talked about some of NASA's upcoming projects, and a whole lot of people were like, why are we wasting money on this? We should be focused on the climate. And I get it. Believe me, I understand. When you see the price tags on some of this stuff, no doubt your first thought is probably there might be some better ways to spend this money. And I do not disagree with the idea that we need a massive project immediately to start working on mitigating the impacts of climate change. And I could give you a list of stuff that we need to start working on like now. Just off the top of my head, imaging to find water underground, water purification systems that are really, really good, allowing us to use incredibly dirty water because we're going to need to. We probably need to be dumping a bunch of money into pollution remediation. It'd be good to put a lot of research into solar. We probably also need to figure out how we're going to implement air scrubbers, because as the temperature warms, the range of disease will spread. Probably need a bunch of money that is geared towards figuring out how to keep food good for longer periods, make sure there's no bacteria and toxins in them, so on and so forth. I agree. Don't get me wrong, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. But here's the reason I will never stop supporting NASA. The best technology that we have in each one of those things I named came from NASA. NASA's job is to basically make sure that people can survive in places where they shouldn't be able to. And that's a skill set we're going to need. NASA has a lot of spinoffs, way more than you might think. The ones I just named, that is all just stuff that has to do with climate. If you have ever had LASIK eye surgery, thank NASA. You got a really good prosthetic, thank NASA. Ever use one of those silver blankets? Now you can probably guess why they call them space blankets. The weird flare thing they use to get rid of landmines came from NASA. It's tons of stuff. Baby formula. I want to say 90% of baby formula in the U.S. uses a technique that kind of came from NASA. And this is all really important stuff. It's all spin-offs. But it doesn't have to be anything that dramatic either. Cordless vacuums. If you are watching this on a mobile phone or a tablet, odds are that the camera in it has a CMOS, C-M-O-S, sensor in it. NASA. Now, does this mean that we don't need a project specifically aimed at the climate that is similar in scope, that is well funded? No. This is just a talking point that you can use to convince other people that we need it. When you have a massive goal and you have a bunch of challenges that you know that you have to overcome, when you put dedicated and informed people on task and you give them the resources, they're going to solve the problems, and they're going to develop a whole lot of other stuff along the way. Most people care about the pebble in their shoe, and they're just starting to fill it. When you're talking about the price tags of some of the projects that are needed to deal with climate, it might be worth mentioning all of the benefits that are byproducts. They're spinoffs. I'm sure somewhere there's a giant list of the stuff that we use all the time that came from NASA. There will be a similar list of stuff that made it to the consumer world, made it to the medical world, made it to the agricultural world from a project that is designed to mitigate climate change. It's a useful tool when you're trying to convince people. But because of this, and it is a fact, I'll never stop supporting NASA. It's not either or. With the money that we spend on the stuff that we really don't need to, I think that we can do both. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.